Hello and welcome to another guided meditation. My name is Sage and today is all about finding guides. This is like anything open to interpretation, but there's something really interesting that happens when you start living your life really based off of your intuition or tuning into your own intuition. And sometimes we can get this from things like tarot cards or astrology or other like kind of metaphysical things that are really just helping us tune into what we already know. But specifically when finding guides, this is something that we can find within ourselves. This is also something we can find just by observing our outer world. So maybe there's already some people who come to mind or some things that come to mind. Just as I'm starting this video, there's this really big, adorable bumblebee just like flying around. And I'm a symbolic person. I love poetry. And so I find myself wondering, what can I learn from this just happy, full, pollinating creature? And I think there's a lot to learn from a big happy bumblebee. But maybe there are some things that you can think about too. I know that I personally learn so much from my dog, especially when I'm having a stressed out day or having a hard time, maybe like not feeling lethargic or getting out of the house and doing things. And my dog is just so happy just to be outside, just to literally be like bounding through the grass. And there's something that I learn every single time that I take her outside. And this is what I mean by finding our guides and tuning into our intuition. So we also have tons of these guides within us. We have, for example, our past selves. Our past selves are people who have made tons of decisions and who have I just thought of like three things at once, sorry. Are people who have made tons of decisions that have led us up to where we are now. So we can obviously reflect on the poor decisions that we've made. We can reflect on the good decisions we have made, and that can inform future decision making, but also just future like existences, right? Like how we go about our day can be determined by what has made us feel good in the past. And we talk to our past selves all the time, whether it's avoiding a food that we don't like, or maybe we've had a weird reaction to, or we just know a lot about ourselves because we are with ourselves all the time. And so within that same vein, we can also look toward our future selves and consider where we want to be, who we want to be, what decisions we need to make in order to get there, and what happiness looks like in the grand scheme of things, what happiness looks like in our future self, and how we can still apply that to now. It's really easy to get caught up in just looking ahead to the future, just looking at what's to come without being appreciative for what we have now. And so, for example, one thing that I'm really excited about looking forward to in the future is my little baby growing up and learning how to talk and walk, and there's just so many exciting things in this growth of a human, and yet it is so exciting now to see how far they've come. They're crawling, it's amazing. And so looking to the future and like how I can see myself being happy in the future, I can also apply that here. This was a long intro, but let's get into a brief meditation where we can tune into those internal guides. So get comfy. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Squeeze the shoulders up, around the back and down. If it helps you connect, you can place a hand on your chest, maybe one on your belly. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. Find your breath. Notice your breath. And we're just going to notice what guidance we can take from our breath itself. Notice if you're coming into this breathing practice feeling out of breath or with a short breath. And what can that tell you about how you've been living your day so far? Maybe you can feel your heart beating quickly. If you're someone with anxiety or depression, or both, we can notice, kind of tune into our body to sometimes take action or just notice how we're feeling without getting caught up in it by feeling our breath and our heartbeat. So when you're feeling more anxious, fearful, insecure, whatever it is, you might have a more rapid heartbeat, as well as a shorter breath, maybe that stays in your chest. It doesn't even go deep into the belly. And so if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling a bit anxious, then you can work to deepen the breath. On the other hand, if you're feeling a bit depressed or lethargic or just a little bit slow, I'm someone who struggles with dissociation, so if maybe that relates to you as well, you can notice this by maybe a slower, steady heartbeat. And also long exhales and short inhales. So we're literally, when we're feeling a bit down or depressed, we're literally taking in less oxygen than we're letting out. And we can work toward alleviating some of that just by taking deeper inhales, longer inhales, maybe counting up to 5 on your inhales. The body is your first guide. It's important that we listen to it, especially in a world where there are so many things to help us detach. Consider what other guides you already know. Maybe teachers, friends, family. Maybe there's been kind of a strange moment in the past few days that caught your attention, like seeing a crow in front of you staring you down or something. And you can just consider maybe some symbolism there. Let go of tension. If you'd like, you can come up with an affirmation of sorts, something to repeat to yourself when you are especially calling to the guides, maybe for advice or comfort, even validation. It could be something simple. For example, just, I will listen. I will listen. I will be open-minded to what is presented to me. I will be open-minded to what is presented to me. And remembering that there are so many different kinds of magic that present itself to us. There's magic in photosynthesis and pretty much every way a plant grows and creates abundance. Pay attention. One more breath. Let it go. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one.